fastest growing cancer.
The medical field is still behind on this.
Could your persistent cough be your first warning sign? Confusing symptoms that go misdiagnosed.
They just kept telling me that there was nothing wrong.
What does getting the diagnosis of a stage 3 cancer mean to you?
I was scared to death. I didn't know if I would live.
How to stop esophageal cancer before it starts. Next.
We're talking about an epidemic that plagues nearly half of all the women across America because you, and often even your doctor, don't know the warning signs. And when it's not treated, reflux into one of the that you have never heard before, silent reflux. It's something Sandra knows all too well.
I was in my early 40s, and I never thought anything like this would ever happen to me. But I did have symptoms, and I should have insisted on more tests sooner. Started experiencing difficulty swallowing. I had a persistent cough. I would just take allergy medication thinking that that was what was extreme my whole life. Even though things were getting worse, the doctors insisted started to get severe. The coughing was just worse. The tiniest piece of food, I could feel it traveling down my esophagus. That's when I knew that this was no allergy, that it was something more serious, that I really needed to get diagnosed. I had an endoscopy, and they found that it was stage 3 esophageal cancer. I was scared to death. I had to have chemotherapy first. They removed my esophagus. I have a different outlook on life. I'm living proof you have to take your medical care into your own hands. If I hadn't insisted on seeing a specialist, I would not be alive today.
Scary story.
Yes.
When your doctors couldn't tell you what was wrong with you, what did you think was going on?
I wasn't really sure. They took all the necessary tests. They said I was perfectly healthy. I just thought I was going to have to live with this burn.
Doctors couldn't tell you what was wrong with you. What did you think was going on?
I wasn't really sure. They took all the necessary tests. They said I was perfectly healthy. I just thought I was going to have to live with this burning and this lump in my throat the rest of my life.
After all those years of not having the right diagnosis, what do you feel when you think about the fact that it could have all been prevented if you just know what was going on?
It makes me extremely angry. I went to the doctor. I did what I was supposed to do. I told them what my symptoms were. They just kept telling me that there was nothing wrong. If I had been diagnosed at that time, my life would be completely different.
Are you all hearing Sandra's story? And thank you again for sharing it. And we're going to talk about this some more. But let me just talk to everybody about something called silent reflux. We introduced it briefly. It can be a precursor to developing cancer, which is what Sandra's really describing to all of us. And there's some symptoms. I know you know them, but for everybody at home, often these symptoms are confused with sinus infections or allergies or having a cold. So I'm going to break them down for everybody so this is really simple. First off, postnasal drip.
Yes.
Pretty common.
Yes.
Persistent cough. Hoarseness. A lump in the throat feeling. Notice I did not use the word heartburn. I did not say you felt like acid was coming up.
No.
Because so many doctors don't know about this, about silent reflux, in order to get the word out, we held a free clinic to show just how pervasive the problem had become.
We set up a mobile medical center at a mall in New York City and enlisted the help of Dr. Jamie Kaufman and her team of top ear, nose, and throat specialists and devoted volunteers to launch the very first silent reflux screening. Our mission was simple, to shine a light on this silent killer and its confusing symptoms. The turnout was amazing.
A lot of folks are frustrated. They've gone through life never really feeling 100%. We're here to help you connect the dots and give you relief of symptoms that sometimes have plagued you most of your life.
Cindy has been suffering from a chronic cough and bouts of choking for the past 10 years.
That's the opening of your esophagus. And what you can see, it's a little bit swollen back here. See how that's red? Yeah. It's actually signs of reflux that we're seeing.
Did you have any idea that reflux was causing this?
No.
10 years, and this is the first time anyone has said that you have reflux?
First time, yes.
Donna Marie has two sisters, both diagnosed with Barrett's esophagus, a condition that puts them at high risk for esophageal cancer. Donna fears that she too could be at risk for the disease.
Donna Marie almost didn't get screened. She's minimal symptoms. So we then examined her, and she actually has the highest reflux finding score of the day. The back of her larynx is so swollen it's falling in.
So what do you think about that?
That's scary. I didn't expect that.
And then we met 29-year-old Christy, who just happened to be shopping at the mall when she came to our clinic.
For the past couple of months, I've been dealing with a lot of coughing and allergies, stuffy nose.
Here we go.
Christy was diagnosed with asthma at the age of 14. She has no health insurance and came to us to get the medical attention she needed.
She has a lot of inflammation in the back of her nose. It's unusual to see this much redness and inflammation. You need to have a full evaluation because I think it's quite likely that your asthma is not asthma but reflux.
More than half your life, you've had the wrong diagnosis.
I'm speechless. I actually feel like crying in a way to know what I was diagnosed with years ago is not the actual problem. I feel like this clinic was a godsend, and I came into this mall for a reason.
So Christy joins us. You're at the mall shopping.
Yes.
Minding your own business.
Yes, I was.
How'd you end up wandering into a free clinic?
I seen a sign for silent reflux. I had no idea what it was and what it was about. I seen free clinic, so I figured let me just go and see what this has to deal with.
Has your voice always been like that, a little raspy?
It hasn't. It's just developed like this over the past couple months, like all throughout the summer.
I point this out because these are such simple little clues once we know to look for them. You told me when we were at the clinic that you were diagnosed with asthma when you're 13, 14?
Just about, yes.
Right. So what does it feel like to know that for half of your life, you've walked around with the wrong diagnosis? A big diagnosis, a diagnosis that required medications, some of them pretty dangerous medications.
I'm actually very angry, very aggravated to know that I was misdiagnosed. I was taking medication that I didn't have to take. And if things were caught earlier on, I would have been able to properly treat things, and instead of being here right now.
And those medications, were they helpful for your symptoms at all?
Absolutely not.
What did you think was wrong with you?
I just thought that the inhaler was not strong enough for me. I needed a higher dose, and nothing seemed to be working.
Your story, I heard over and over and over again from people when I was at that clinic. I mean, it was stunning to me how much we have missed the boat with this. When we come back, I'm going to show you the test you can take right now to see if you might have silent reflux. Stay with us.
My voice gets hoarse. I'm getting major coughs that I wake up in the middle of the night. I've been to doctors, I've had tests, and nobody can figure out why.
Up next, the test for silent reflux that you can take at home.
Different from the typical acid reflux that everyone associates with heartburn.
A screening tool
Here are the 5 questions.
to assess your risk.
This is amazing.
And later,
Here's the concept I want everyone to never forget.
the 3-step plan to stop it before it starts.